Michael always believed he had a perfect life. He had a good job as a financial analyst, a beautiful apartment in the center of the city, and a wife that everyone admired. Her name was Emily. Emily had the kind of smile that made people trust her instantly. She was warm, charming, and somehow always knew the right thing to say. They had been married for 5 years. 5 calm, predictable years. Every morning, Michael woke up at 7 a.m., drank his coffee, and went to work. Emily worked from home as a graphic designer. In the evenings, they cooked dinner together, watched Netflix, and talked about their plans for the future. It was the kind of marriage people envied. At least, that's what Michael thought. One night, everything changed. It was 2:17 a.m. when Michael suddenly woke up. He didn't know why. The apartment was quiet, but something felt strange. Emily was asleep next to him, breathing softly. Then Michael heard a vibration. Bzz. It came from Emily's phone on the nightstand. Normally, Michael would ignore it, but something about that moment felt different. The phone vibrated again. Curiosity slowly replaced sleep. Michael looked at Emily. She didn't move. He carefully reached for the phone. The screen lit up. A message appeared from a contact named Daniel. The message read, "I missed last night already. I wish you were here." Michael's heart stopped. For a moment, he just stared at the screen. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe Daniel was just a friend. But then another message appeared. "Does your husband suspect anything?" Michael felt his stomach drop. His hands started shaking. Slowly, very slowly, he opened the chat. There were hundreds of messages, photos, voice notes, plans, secret meetings, hotel reservations. Every message felt like a knife. The affair had been going on for 6 months. 6 months. While he was going to work every morning, while they were eating dinner together, while she was kissing him goodnight. Michael felt like the air had disappeared from the room. He looked at Emily. She was still sleeping peacefully, like nothing had happened, like she hadn't destroyed everything. Michael didn't sleep for the rest of the night. He sat on the couch in the dark living room. The phone was still in his hands. His mind was racing. Who was Daniel? How long had this been happening? And the worst question of all, why? He loved her. He trusted her. He would have done anything for her. So why did she betray him? At 7:30 a.m., Emily woke up. She walked into the living room wearing her robe. "Morning," she said softly. Then she noticed Michael sitting in the dark. His eyes looked different. Cold. "Michael?" she asked. "Are you okay?" Michael slowly held up the phone. Emily froze. The color disappeared from her face. For a few seconds, neither of them said a word. Finally, Michael asked the question that had been burning inside him all night. "Who is Daniel?" Emily's lips trembled. "I can explain." Michael laughed quietly, but it wasn't a happy laugh. It was the laugh of someone whose entire world had just collapsed. "Explain," he said. Then he opened the messages again and read one out loud. "Last night was the best night of my life." Michael looked directly into Emily's eyes. "Go ahead," he said quietly. "Explain that." Emily slowly sat down across from him. Her hands were shaking. But then something strange happened. Instead of crying, she smiled. A small, mysterious smile. And she said something Michael never expected. "Michael, you're looking at this the wrong way." Michael frowned. "What?" Emily leaned forward and whispered, "You weren't supposed to find out like this." Michael felt a chill run down his spine. "What does that mean?" Emily looked directly into his eyes and said quietly, "Because Daniel isn't just my lover." Michael's heart pounded. "Then who is he?" Emily took a deep breath and answered, "He's your brother." Michael's world went silent because Michael had no brother.
Michael stared at Emily in silence. His mind was spinning. "That's not funny," he said slowly. Emily didn't smile anymore. "I'm serious." Michael stood up from the couch. "I don't have a brother." Emily crossed her arms. "That's what you've been told." Those words hit Michael like a punch. "What are you talking about?" he asked. Emily took a deep breath. "You should sit down." Michael didn't move. "Just tell me." Emily looked at the phone again, then back at him. "Daniel contacted me 8 months ago." Michael's jaw tightened. "And you believed him?" "He knew things about you," Emily said quietly. "Things nobody else could know." Michael felt anger rising in his chest. "So that means you start sleeping with him?" Emily shook her head. "It didn't start like that." "Then how did it start?" Emily hesitated. "He said your parents lied to you." "My parents are dead." "I know. That's why he waited so long." The room suddenly felt smaller. Michael walked toward the window. Rain had started falling outside. "Let me guess," he said bitterly. "He told you some crazy story and you believed it." Emily whispered, "He showed me proof." Michael's heart skipped a beat. It was an old photograph.
2 little boys standing next to a woman. One of the boys was clearly Michael as a child. The other boy looked almost identical. Same eyes, same face, same smile. Michael felt his legs weaken. "That's impossible," Emily spoke quietly. "That's Daniel." Michael grabbed the phone. He zoomed in on the picture. It really did look like him. Too much like him. "Where did he get this?" Emily swallowed. "He said your parents adopted you." Michael laughed nervously. "That's ridiculous." Emily didn't answer. Michael's laugh slowly faded. "You believe him?" Emily looked down. "I didn't at first." Michael's voice became cold. "So what changed?" Emily whispered, "I met him." The room went silent. Michael stared at her. "You what?" Emily's eyes filled with guilt. "He wanted to talk about you." Michael felt his fists clench. "And you just went to meet some stranger who claims to be my brother?" Emily nodded slowly. "He looked exactly like you." Michael suddenly felt sick. "And then?" Emily looked away. "At first, we only talked." Michael already knew what came next. "But then," Emily said quietly, "things got complicated." Michael laughed bitterly. "That's a nice way to say you cheated." Emily wiped a tear. "You don't understand. Then help me understand." Emily whispered, "Daniel hates you." Michael blinked. "Why?" Emily hesitated. "Because he thinks you stole his life." Michael frowned. "What does that even mean?" Emily's voice became barely audible. "He says you were never supposed to exist." Michael felt a chill crawl down his spine. "What?" Emily looked at him with fear. "Daniel says your parents were only supposed to adopt one child." Michael's heart pounded. "And," Emily whispered, "they chose you." Michael suddenly remembered something, a memory from childhood, a conversation he overheard when he was 7, his mother crying, his father saying, "We did the best we could." Michael had never understood that moment, until now. Michael slowly sat down again. "Where is he?" he asked quietly. Emily looked surprised. "What?" "Daniel." She hesitated. "He's in this city." Michael's eyes darkened. "Of course he is." Emily suddenly grabbed his arm. "Michael, please don't do anything stupid." Michael smiled, but it was a very cold smile. "Oh, I'm definitely going to do something," Emily whispered nervously. "What?" Michael stood up. "I'm going to meet my brother." Emily's face turned pale. "You can't." Michael frowned. "And why not?" Emily whispered something that made Michael's blood run cold. "Because he's been watching you." Michael felt the room spin. "What do you mean?" Emily slowly turned the phone around. There was another message from Daniel, sent 10 minutes ago. It said, "So, did he enjoy the story?" Michael's heart started racing. Then another message appeared. "Tell Michael I'll see him tomorrow." Michael looked up slowly. "Tomorrow?" Emily nodded with fear. "Yes." Michael asked the question he was afraid to hear. "Where?" Emily whispered. "At your office." Michael's stomach dropped. "Why there?" Emily's voice trembled. "Because that's where everything started."
Michael didn't sleep again that night, not even for a minute. His mind was full of questions, too many questions. If Daniel was telling the truth, then Michael's entire life was a lie. But there was something worse, something much worse. Why would Daniel destroy his life now? Why wait 30 years? At 9:05 a.m., Michael walked into his office building. Every step felt heavier than the last. The receptionist greeted him. "Good morning, Michael." He forced a smile. "Morning." But inside his chest, his heart was beating like a drum, because he knew Daniel was somewhere in this building, watching, waiting. Michael reached his office door. His hand stopped on the handle. He took a deep breath, then he opened it. At first, everything looked normal. His desk, his computer, his chair. But then, he noticed something. Someone was sitting in the chair, facing the window. Michael's blood turned cold. The man slowly turned around, and Michael felt the world stop, because it was like looking into a mirror. Same face, same eyes, same jaw. But Daniel's smile was darker, colder, more dangerous. Daniel stood up slowly. "Well," he said calmly, "it's nice to finally meet you." He paused, then finished the sentence. "Brother." Michael felt anger explode inside him. "You ruined my life!" Daniel smiled slightly. "No." He leaned closer. "You did that yourself." Michael's voice was shaking. "What do you want?" Daniel's smile disappeared. "I want the truth." Michael frowned. "What truth?" Daniel whispered something that made Michael's entire world collapse. "The truth about Emily." Michael blinked. "What?" Daniel looked straight into his eyes and said quietly, "You think she betrayed you with me." Michael's heart pounded. "Didn't she?" Daniel slowly shook his head. "No." Michael felt confused. "Then what is all this?" Daniel leaned closer and whispered, "Emily isn't cheating on you." Michael's voice broke. "Then what is she doing?" Daniel's eyes became deadly serious. "She's spying on you."